This lesson will go over how to use a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet that you've exported from WEBI to create mailing labels using a DYMO Label Writer. First, in a previous lesson, we downloaded a Excel spreadsheet that has a list of addresses. I have changed the addresses and postal codes and phone numbers so you don't have access to those people's home addresses in this video. However, the first step is to clean up the Excel so we can easily use it as a CSV first. If it has enable content at the top or enable editing, go ahead and authorize that or by clicking OK. You want to delete by highlighting the rows, just clicking on one, and delete the rows at the top to put the fields at the top, and then delete column A. This is not necessary, but I just do it because it's easier to follow, but delete column A. Now we need to save the file as a CSV file. So you will come to Home, Save As. The drop down below it, you want to slide all the way down until you're at CSV, comma delimited star.csv. Now there are other CSV file formats on here, but this is the one you're going to use the DYMO Label Writer. Now that you've saved it, and we note where you saved it at, this is in my downloads folder. We're going to close that file. Then we'll open the DYMO Label Writer version 8. I don't register my product, obviously. So from here, I use a Label Writer 450, and many people have asked why I just don't use the Avery labels that are formatted for the labels, the laser printers or the inkjet printers. And that's because the Label Writer actually uses heat transfer like the old fax machines, and it reduces the amount of ink that's used. The labels are not that much more expensive than the Avery labels, and you never have to fill the Label Writer up with ink. So that's a big advantage. But from the Label Writer software, you come down to import data and print and hit new. Now we have to select where the file is at. You hit next and browse. This is a Microsoft CSV file, which is the type it uses. Once it's loaded there, you hit next. Now you create your label. So we want to drop. All you need to do is click the field and it'll show up there. And then we want to put the post after it. So if you want to move the field down, all you do is place your cursor after it. And then you move down there, put the address next. The little blue dots represent a space already. So then put address 2 there, return, and you can see up here what is actually being put there in the format, what it's going to look like. So the city, in this case, I want to replace the blue dot with a comma and a space. Then the city, the state, then the postal code. From here, you've had your labels. You just click the next button. And now you want to unclick the first row. You want to run down and make sure that there are no additional. Here's one at the bottom. Take that off. And now you have a list of all of your post officers. You can click down through the row to make sure that they're all formatted correctly and are going to print all right. If in fact you, in this case, you don't have anything in field 8, which is address 2, once you're ready to print, you can actually just press that button and the Label Writer will start printing. once you print that, but we're not going to print it this time. But it prints on a single roll type printer, and it's very helpful when you're trying to mail out and do things. That's the lesson for how to do a label from a DYMO using the CSV files.